What's up? What's up? What's up, Camille? Gonna get on in a second. What's up? What's up? Live. Go on YouTube, Stack 44, and you can call in and join the live. Maybe you'll understand what we about to talk about on this one. Or if you just want to stay there and watch, that's cool too. But we go on YouTube, Stack 44. You can join the live, sweetheart. All right. Trying to get started. jump on up in here. I see a couple people came out, but who cares? We about to jump on in here. Today's topic is why men is not committing to women. And, I would say in today's day or 2020, whatever you want to say, but at some point, I think women need to understand why guys aren't committing at all. It's a lot of things that's going on in the manosphere of how guys think. So, if you want to add to the conversation tonight, make sure you call in. But I'm gonna go down the list from whatever. It's gonna be in mixed order, but I'm gonna just go down, start with 1 all the way to 10. That I feel like why men do not commit to women. A lot of times, man, society has a lot going on, and a lot of times as men, we don't we think logical. Women think emotional. So a lot of times women are emotionally wondering why they single, when men are logically know why they single. So the first thing I'll say is society, the marriage laws, the family court system. The men already know they have a lot to lose by committing. So that'll be the first thing why men don't want to make a full commitment with a woman, especially if he is beyond his 20s and he's in his 30s and 40s. Life had already took things from the man, and he knows that before you know it, he might have nothing. I just met a guy. Well, I didn't meet a guy that used to live across the street from me. He was married twice, and he lost both his houses to both of his ex-wives. So it showed me right then and there of how much a man actually can lose. Because I talked to this guy yesterday. He was moving out. He was renting a house across the street. He was moving out, and he was basically giving the history of his living conditions and said, I'm used to a house, but I lost my first two. And I was like, how did you lose your first two? He basically said he got married. The wife got the first house. Then he went ahead and did it again. The wife got the second house. The second house, he said he had well over $175,000 in the house. And then with it was a $250,000 house with maybe $75,000 to go. And he lost the house. Well, he lost the divorce. She got the house. She sold the house 3 days later. So a lot of times women look at a man sometimes as a lick, and a lot of guys are catching on to this, and they understand that. Men, I think they're missing out on something. They may, well, I don't think they are, but it is what it is. If you want to join the YouTube conversation, come to YouTube, Stack 44. I'm on a different platform, guys, on my YouTube channel. But I'm trying to get other people to come on over to the live on YouTube, Stack 44, and join the conversation or call in. So, but I see you guys. You can watch it from there if you want to. But that's my number one. Is society can take everything from man. The court system is set up from the woman. Even from the 1960s, when the welfare system started to take over and kick the man out the house and give women assistance if they didn't have a man living with them. We didn't fail for this. We didn't fail for this in the Black community. That a lot of times that we feel like we get free money and free assistance because we don't have a man. Then came the 90s when it was all these I don't need no scrub and all this extra shit. Kind of got to the point when women started to take a shift to be independent, which was nothing wrong with being independent. But at the end of the day, back in the day, Black couples was the most married couples in the United States. But now we're the lowest marriage rate ever. So I want to put that out there. All right. So number two, a thing why a man won't commit is he's pretty much not ready. And sometimes it got something to do with that too, is thinking about losing everything he has. And a lot of times men don't want to get to that point of thinking about losing stuff, because especially if a man has been through child support, been through this, been through that, he don't want to like, damn, I gotta take another chance and lose more things. Because at the end of the day, man, society gonna always hold men accountable. So a lot of times the guys that pay child support or been divorced, raped, they understand what I'm talking about. A lot of times women don't have nothing to lose when they get in relationships most of the time besides the man walking out the relationship, but she can always go after his assets and get some type of money for him. And some women, they take pride in not taking child support or not holding them accountable. But that affects the woman later down the line, because when she get with a man that's responsible, he gonna look at you like, why you let this guy walk? And that's gonna be a turn off for her picking up a commitment later. So, it may seem like very prideful to let the man walk if he don't want to be involved with the child's life, but it will hurt you in the end by picking a guy that don't want to take care of his responsibility, because another man's not going to want to pick up another man's responsibility. Pretty much like playing a video game. A lot of men don't want to pick up another controller after the man that played the game. All right. So my number 4, too many options. Not number 4, number 3, sorry. Too many options. Men have too many options these days, just as long as women. But if you can get, back in the 80s, 90s, it was like hard to get a girl to have sex with you. You have to wait 2-3 months. And now you only wait 2-3 hours or 2-3 days. So now men ain't thirsty for sex no more. It's easy to get. You can actually be transactional, pay for it, or it's a hookup culture. So Netflix and chill is always out there. So if a man's not thirsty for sex and he's good with himself, why would he want to commit to a woman? A lot of times women don't understand that if a man is not, thirsty for you or thirsty for that affection, it don't mean nothing to us no more. At the end of the day, you still got the simps. You still got the suckers. You still got the guys that's going to chase women, the lover boys, the guys that fall easy. That's cool, but you can't scale that on the everyday man that's a man above average on his purpose. A man above average on his purpose is going to chase his purpose. He's not going to worry about a female, because a man with what they say, that the man that have money always keep women, and man that spend money never keeps women, whatever. What I forgot I go, but anyway, that's what I'm basically saying is it's a lot of options out there for men, just as long as women. But options is destroying the dating community. It's destroying marriages in the long run, because a lot of times options make us feel delusional, think delusional. Everybody that commercialize themselves by having Facebook, Instagram, things of that nature that kind of destroy our realistic expectations for people. So as soon as the tough get going with a person when you dating somebody or trying to, go the long route with a person, you jump out the relationship because you feel like it's another lane for you, which is probably not. You need to master the dating lane you in and understand who you are. Just because you can pick up a 9 or a 10 women or men don't mean you can do it every day, especially women. So that's what I want to say, because guys, most of the time, we just want sex. All right. So situation in life is number 4 is pretty much situation not right for your life. So a lot of times a man won't commit because he sees a woman's situation is not right for his life. It don't match his program. She may even have too many kids. She may have too many emotional issues. He may know himself very well that to the point that she doesn't wow him. She doesn't do it for him. Older a man he understand his sexual appetite, and he understand, what's for him and what's not for him. And a lot of times women don't even understand this. But, that's why I always tell you guys, be in tune with yourself. It's you versus you. The more you be in tune with yourself, the more you can recognize who's for you and who's not for you. And then, older you get, the more logic you pick up and the less horny you get as a man. Even though we like to have sex, but when we young, we like little jackrabbits. Then we start realizing, what she brings to the table besides just her body. So a lot of times when we're young, we don't think about this. We just think about just getting one off. And then if you're a man, this feeling when you're young, you pursue something, you say all the good things, you say all of this, you say all that, you get her in the bedroom, and then as soon as you bust, you be like, damn, why did I have sex with her? It'd be just like that. If you know what I'm talking about, especially when you're young, you think of it after the fact, after the fake commitment, after after you then put all this game in, and then once you get one off, you like, man, the juice wasn't even worth the squeeze. But that's a different story for a different day. But that's different. That's definitely how we feel when we're young. When we older, we think past the orgasm. We think past of just having her. Can she do something for our mind? Can she actually help our program as a man? Can she help us thrive as a man? So that's another thing that's stopping us from committing because we think more logical. Do she fit our life? All right. Number 2, sex life. Now, I did make a video, and it's my highest video on YouTube is men don't go back sexually, and we just don't go back sexually. If we have a certain amount of sexual appetite, if we're going to commit with one woman, we won't go back sexually. You know, just like women don't go back in lifestyle, men don't go back sexually. So a lot of times, I don't think women understand that we're used to some freaky stuff. You know, that's something women need to have a conversation with a man when they're dating them to find out what is his sexual appetite. Because if you want a full commitment, ladies, you're gonna have to do anything and everything. And don't hover the whole sex over a man's head, especially in this day. Like I said, when a guy got too many options, he gonna go over there and over there. But if the sex is on point and everything's good, he will consider a long-term relationship. But the sex got to be on point. And a lot of times, you know, sex can be a deal breaker for a man because if he feel like he gonna commit himself to one woman, she better have that look, she better have that sexual drive, and she better know how to stroke his ego mentally. And a lot of times, women do not know how to stroke a man's ego mentally on top of the sex and the look. You know, sometimes you get 2 out of 3. It's very rare that you get the 3. So the sex life and the sex is on point is very important. All right. So, okay. So number 5, financial commitment. A lot of times a man know if he commits himself to a woman, the financial commitment could go bad if he invests into her and it goes wrong. If he had kids by this woman and get married to her, or if he have assets, just like I said, number 1, you know, society is on a woman's side. You know, the family courts and the system is always on a woman's side most of the time because she carried the child. So, you know, in the state where I'm in, you can actually lose half of your assets when you marry a woman. So really it's a come up. So not only women be celebrating they getting a ring and getting a wedding, they celebrate that they are in the driver's seat of your life. They can actually be the missus for a little while, and then all of a sudden to say it's over. I'm about to, you see what's happening to Dr. Dre, even though he was married 20 plus years. Now I think she's getting about $750,000 a month for spousal support. It's very hard when we hear these stories as men to be like, you know what, I don't want to be that guy. So that's another thing that's stopping men for commitment, because mainstream social media and Facebook and everything, everybody's business is everywhere, especially the athletes in the NBA, NFL, people like that. We see how much they lose, and we don't want to be that guy. And a lot of times, this publicity online and all this internet stuff, it helps the women attract men, but it's helping women lose men as well. And a lot of times women don't even understand that. So just do what you do, when you dating, but understand that, man, we understand what the game is now because of social media, unfortunately. All right. So my number 6, self-control. I did say that kind of already, that a lot of times we gotta have self-control to that basically we get thirsty. So if you're too thirsty for a man, you ain't gonna want one woman. We get into our stages when we just want to just have fun, do what we do. But be honest, guys, just have fun and protect yourself. You don't want to be loosely with your seed, keeping your seed all over the place. Doing, you got to do what you have to do now to do what you want to do later. So basically, if you want to have some fun, make sure you wrap it up, and because you can't trust these women out here. They'll say, "I'm not on a pill. I didn't had a got fixed or whatever, and then next thing you know, she could be end up pregnant and have a baby, and then you be like, I thought you was fixed. So I had a chick tell me that not too long ago. So we waiting on Mike to call in. I think he gonna call in a minute, add on the topic. But that was my number 6. Another reason why men are like not committing is pretty much they got like I did say everything to lose. I put that on the list twice, I believe. But at the end of the day, it's just a lot of options, a lot of things that go on in a man's life that he realized that he do not want to lose at all. Period. So let's see what Mike talking about. I think he about to call in a quick second. But actually, as a man, we have to control our sexual appetite. We have to understand what's for us and what's not for us. So that's one of the main things we have to do as men. So, but if y'all got anything to add, put that in the comment section. Anything I didn't touch on. Like I said, society takes away from a man, a lot away from a man. Also, he's not ready. It's good to not be ready, so you don't want to commit to a woman. Then too many options. That's something we touched on. A man can have too many options. Then the situation don't fit his life. Then sex life is not on point. So a lot of times, like I said, the sex life got to be on point for a man. After that, you got everything to lose. If you're 30 years old and you got your own bills and you've been through a couple of relationships, you got child support, you got this, you got that. A lot of times, men do not want to go back paying later down in life. A lot of times we've been paid child support, we've been divorced, life then took things from us. So moving forward, it's hard for us to make that full commitment, understanding that down the line, she may take half our shit. So, and just like I said before, the guy that lived across the street that's moving out the rental home, he lost 2 houses to 2 women, over $500,000 over the years. I mean, he's like 53. He still got a 9-year-old daughter that he paid child support for, and he has her all the time. So he's paying child support for a child that he has on an everyday basis. Makes no sense to me, but that's what it is, and that's how it is, So, and the financial commitment is just up in the air. Like you see Dr. Dre right now. Dr. Dre, he probably, even though he got goo gobs of money, he probably just can't sleep at night knowing that he's forking out $750,000 a month for spousal support and fight for half his assets. So those headlines is waking man up, and man is understanding that is this marriage thing really for me? That's why men are really going their own way. Another thing, like I said, you got too many options. You can pick up a date daily. You can go on Tinder, Bumble, any dating app. You can get your shit together and pick up a woman. And sex is not like how it used to be. Like when we in the 90s, like I said, in the 90s and the early 2000s, you had to actually work for it. You actually had to literally work for a woman to get your attention. Nowadays, you can go out on a random weekend, don't talk to no women on your phone, meet a woman and smash that night. If your sexual market value is high enough, you understand what I'm talking about. It's that easy these days. So a lot of things women need to do is start trending to do what they gotta, they need to start being back, putting themselves back as a wife. I just did a video, what makes a woman a wife. And a lot of times women don't know how to be wives no more. So if you did see that video, go check it out. I might go over it right now because waiting on Mike to call. And if he don't call or nobody call in a minute, about 15 more minutes, I'm going to just end this one because I kind of want to touch on with the audience. This live is for you guys to call in and give me your perspective of what the topic is and your experiences as well. So if you want to call in. But I was telling on that video about a woman being a wife, I was basically saying the first thing a woman got to do to be a wife is have a connection with God. And a lot of times we run into women that's our 95% women that's out here doing everything other women are doing. The 5% woman will get the commitment. So the first thing a 5% woman will have is her connection with God. It matters because she understands the man is the head, the woman is the neck. Another thing that matters is her how she view her parents, how she view did she have both parents in the house? Did she see a blueprint? It matters a lot. Or did she see her mom be a single mama and dominate? A woman that's seen a single mother and dominate, she's not going to understand a man's masculinity or how to submit to a man because she didn't see the blueprint. It's some women that can overcome that because they actually get some life experiences by doing things wrong. Then they ask themselves what they doing wrong. They go out and get therapy, and the therapist tell them how it should be, or they get their head all the way in the Bible and they understand how they should submit to a man. So that's my number 2 is how she view her parents. Number 3 is her class. To step away from being a 95% woman to a 5% woman, you have to build class. A lot of times women do not have class these days because everything that gives them attention is over sexualizing yourself and being on Instagram, being on Facebook, doing the most, when guys that basically just want to have sex with you are just on these platforms. All right. So then number 5, understanding a man's point of view. Like what we doing on this video right now, if a woman study this and understand that what a man's thoughts of losing everything or why he's not, why he don't want to commit is because of these things I'm saying. Because a lot of times women don't understand what a man thinking. Just like Steve Harvey said, think like a man. You got to understand what a man is thinking, especially the older you get. If you're young and you're pair-bonding years of college, straight out of high school, you can actually lock a guy down. But usually women at this day and age do not want to waste their purdy on trying to have a commitment. It'd be more guys want to commit than women these days. And if women do want to commit to a guy at, fresh out of high school, fresh out of college, they're going after the older guy that didn't live life. But the older guy didn't live life, know the game, so he might just entertain her. He ain't trying to be with her. He just trying to have some fun. And a lot of times women do not understand it. That's how they get duped a lot because they don't understand a man's mindset or where a man thinks. So that was my number 5. Number 6 is being honest and good faith. A lot of times women, y'all don't be honest and good faith until the relationship is over. A lot of times y'all want to tell us the truth when it's almost over. And I said this in that video that I met a guy that was married over 40 years, and he said you could create your own monster, man or woman, in a relationship. So you have to be honest with yourself. I mean, I know I got a homegirl that hit me up and say, I think like you're very, very harsh on women on your channel. And I'm like, I'm just talking about how a man feel. Like it's supposed to help women, it don't really supposed to hurt women. It's supposed to help women understand what men think, so things can be healthy and happy and get committed relationships. If I sit here and be dishonest, if I sit here and not be honest with you, then it create that monster for why man ain't nothing or man ain't trying to deal with me or why man ain't shit. That's what that mentality that happens to women when they don't do it. So if you coming in on the other stream, we live on YouTube right now at Stack 44. We taking calls. We haven't had a caller yet, but we'll get one soon. Pretty much. I know Mike probably gonna call in, and if not, I'm just gonna keep going over my list, and we're just gonna end the video soon. But a lot of times, like I said, women hold things in. They expect a man to have a crystal ball to know what you want. We do not know what you want. You guys are emotional, and we're logical. So only way we can see the logic if you tell us. If you don't tell us, then we ain't gonna know. And that's how I feel. Like if you come and be honest and just tell us how you feel in good faith that to know that it's gonna help the relationship, we'll work on it. What's up? What's going on, Will? Man,
ain't nothing to it, man. This Rich, dog.
Oh, this Rich. I'm tired. My bad. I thought you was my cousin. But what's going on, Rich?
Oh man, it ain't that good, man. Just sit back. I just popped into the stream, heard you going over the list, man, and I come in to drop my 2 cents or whatever it's worth, brother. That's all.
That's cool. What you got for me?
Well, the whole thing is, man. First of all, I gotta tell you, man, it's commendable what you're doing because there's a lot of cats, and especially in the black manosphere, there's a lot of cats that come on and that's pretty much just bashing women, bashing relationships, just for the sake of for the sake of the dynamic. You know what I mean?
They try to get views, and they trying to get red pill angry guys to follow them. I understand how they selling out.
Exactly, brother. And the thing is, I just see that, and I know where you're going with this, and it's like I say, it's a commendable thing. But I fear that it's within our community, within the black community especially. I'm sure it's within every other socioeconomic background or whatever, but especially in our community, it's to the point to where this whole feminist agenda has taken over to where everybody's just on the defense, and it's like these women are approaching. You're trying to let people know what they're to do to if they want to get into a relationship, if they want to be successful at it. And these women now are to the point to where the problem is where they're approaching it from. They're taking it as it's a whole defense, versus offense, and we got to do this, and it's sort of like a power struggle, brother. You know what I mean? It's to the point to where they're not even really trying to hear what someone's saying. It's like you got a certain section of females that are listening and that already know. But I think where it comes from, man, is I think it comes from a generational standpoint to the advice, the training that they're getting. Like you're trying to be on here and you're trying to talk to some of the young people, especially, because a lot of times you got to face it, brother. When people get up in age, your age, on into my age or whatever, the dudes are already set in their ways.
Yeah, exactly.
The same goes for these women. But what's happening is I think that they're being trained by these older women to have this standpoint to whereas they're just on this me. And instead of trying to seek a relationship to where they can succeed and to where they can have happiness, the whole husband to them by the older, delusional drags that has passed hit the wall. I'm talking about they've hit the wall 10, 15 years ago, but because Mary loves company, man, they teach them this kind of stuff to where the young women don't want to listen. They've been brainwashed, and it's a sad state to where sometimes I don't even know whether it's even possible to get through to one unless they've been trained up by a wholesome woman, by a woman that stands on the word, that has these same goals in mind. Because they're so bitter and delusional about what's happened to them in their life, they don't want anyone else to succeed. All they're interested in is pushing that old bitter dynamic that they got.
Facts. I mean, a lot of times when you get on these streams and listen to these guys, they are stuck in their ways, and the women are too, and they wonder how can we bring all this together. It's about basically finding somebody that's going to compliment you, not complicate you. You got to, in a relationship, I feel like to make it work, you have to have your own playbook. If you listen to society, eventually you'll get distracted. And that's what society has brought to the table, that it's distracting us from the ultimate goal. Because back in the 70s and the 60s, Black people used to be the most married couples in this in society. And now we're the most broken in society. You know.
Absolutely, brother. I mean, we were the cornerstone. We were the ones to look at if you had to think about, what the dynamic of a wholesome household is, a successful household. You had your fathers. I mean, but then again, when you look at it, these seeds were planted back in the early '60s.
Yeah.
When Lyndon B. Johnson took over after Kennedy got assassinated there, he came up with this social economic thing, the whole welfare system. And, he instituted a whole lot of things. We're not going to get into a whole lot of political jargon, but, he's the one that said that we'll have these niggas voting Democrat for the next 100 years.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was what happened, but what he did was went after, he sort of like, to turn it not religious, but to turn it spiritual. These kind of things were foretold, and these kind of things were just being mimicked by what I like to call their father, the devil. And Lyndon B. Johnson just followed Satan's thing, man.
Yeah.
Let's divide the household up.
And let's
get the man out of the house. Let's break down the family dynamic because what did Satan do? Satan went after Eve, right?
Yeah.
So he went after Eve and he deceived her because he knew if he did a frontal assault on Adam, he probably would have got shut down right then and there.
Exactly.
Well, Lyndon B. Johnson did the same thing when he came in the existence with this whole welfare system, and he told the women that they could get, and we've been so traumatized as Black people at this point for over 200 years with slavery and whatnot. So he came at the Black women and told them that he could provide this and provide that for them. They could have all these different benefits and whatever if
the man
they get the man out the house.
Mm-hmm.
And once they got the man out the house, it created that rift. And once that rift was created, man, it just propagated itself over the years and years and years. And as time goes by, we lose the how can I say we lose the whole institution of training our younger generations,
Yep.
And we lost it now, brother.
Because you don't really see a lot of women trying to motivate the women to train to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
You got women like China White out there trying to teach women how to be feminine, submissive, to keep a man. But you don't really see that trending a lot. Like Black people, we trend. We do anything and everything that's trending. Black people will be on. If we was trending relationships tomorrow, everybody be in a damn relationship. If we was trending marriage tomorrow, everybody be in a marriage. But we went away from that. So
I agree, brother. Just a bunch of copycats. I mean, it's like sheep. We don't look within ourselves to understand who we are, and a lot of this has to do with knowledge of ourselves, and not in it. You can blame it on us in particular and say that, hey, we're not looking at it, we're not seeking it, but at the same time, once you get it generational, man, and it just gets passed down and passed down, I mean, nobody's looking for it anymore. Nobody understands, so we end up lost in the sauce about it, man. And China, I wish China would call in and give her perspective on it, because I think she's doing a great job. She's trying to do, me and China don't agree on every doggone thing, and I'm one of her biggest supporters. I look at all her streams, whether it be on the Lions Den or on the Art of Submission. I look at all of her content. She's trying to do her best to give the female perspective and trying to turn things around. But the whole thing about it is these females are so tied up in the player hating. They want to be jealous of what she's doing and what she's saying, so they attack her personally. Or they say that, oh, well, you know, you got men on the other side that'll say, oh, we're trying to say this, that she ain't right about this, she ain't right about that, she ain't right about the other. The whole thing about it is, ain't none of us right about 100% of everything.
Nope, you're right about that.
What China's trying to do is she's trying to groom people and let people know to bring both sides together. All this hating on, well, women do this, well, men do this. That's not getting us anywhere.
Yeah.
That's not getting us anywhere, man. And I believe, like I said, I would wish she would call on in and get us perspective. I know that she's going through a whole lot of things with herself, and I know that she's been backing off and not putting out to a whole lot of content or whatever, but she is one of them that's out here trying to, and she's trying to keep resilient. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how channels like hers, sometimes I don't know how you keep on doing it week after week after week, man, because it gets tiring when you're trying to turn things around. And, you know, it seems like you're playing to for lack of better terms, you're playing to an ungrateful audience sometimes.
Yeah, I just got
people that don't even want to get involved, man. They don't want to get engaged with it. And that's what we need to do is get engaged and talk about this thing.
Exactly. I'm on another stream and I just got a question. Do you see men grooming boys to be husbands? I see that more than I see women grooming women to be wives. Be honest, I don't know how you feel about that, but that question right there, I see more guys on YouTube and the Manosphere. And if you're on that other stream, we're live on YouTube at Stack 44 was my channel, and you could call in and join the conversation. But I do see more men trying to groom guys of awareness of what's going on with the Manosphere and trying to be on their purpose, because guys that's on their purpose and you focus on your purpose, other things seem to come to you. If you want that universe of having a wife one day, a wife is going to want to get on that purpose and on that program with you, because the man is the head and woman is the neck. So do you feel like a lot of guys are helping guys to be husbands one day?
Well, brother, here's the whole thing is I feel like that it's not so much as trying to help them to be husbands, but there definitely is some guys out there that's on the same page as you are, trying to make men be the best version of themselves. And I believe if you become the best version of yourself, then you're going to attract the kind of female that's conducive to making that dream come true, so to speak. You know, you got you. Mm-hmm. You know, you got Coach Greg Adams out there. You know, you got Book of Alpharani. You got Grown Man Business out there. You got people like Coach Warren.
Yeah. Okay,
that are trying to build us up from the inside. Yeah. To let us know to know what we're worth. Mm-hmm. And if you start projecting what you're worth, the thing is with young guys, they don't understand they're trying too hard, I believe, because if you work on yourself from within, you don't have to try to show people what you're all about. It's gonna ooze out of you. Yeah. It's gonna project itself by itself. If you're that kind of man, you're gonna attract, and at the same time, you're gonna attract the females that are just on it for a come up. What do they call it in today's? You know, I'm a little older, man, so sometimes I forget these.
They trying to hit a lick. That's what they trying to do. Hit a lick.
Yeah, so they trying to hit a lick that come up. What the young people call it now? They try that I don't
finesse.
know.
Finesse.
The women
finesse.
They trying to finesse it, and they trying to level up.
Yeah, level up.
You see all these videos of these women talking about how to level up, how to take it to the bed. Like, come on, man. When you come at it with that, and I see them titles and things with it, I know it's already some destructive information anyway. Man. You know, but that's what attracts the ears of a whole lot of the young people. But it's the same way on the men's side of the thing. Like, just, you know, other than the creators that I just mentioned there, and yourself, there's a lot of men that are doing the same thing, man. And it's just it's become a power play dynamic to where we're just hating on a real, just like women come. We always say when a woman talks about that, what a real man does, and you ain't a real man because you do that. I see the same thing on the men's side, where men are just be hating on women and acting like all women are the devil. Women ain't the devil. Women are just women, and you got to expect women to be women.
Mm-hmm. And that's why you got to be that masculine man and stand on some principles for yourself. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And just like Adam and Eve, if you be the leader and don't fall into biting the apple and doing all the extra, then you got to understand you the head. You don't follow no woman as a man. You understand? A woman should be on your program and be your co-captain. She can be your supercharger, but if she don't stand for what you stand for, then she's pulling you away from your purpose and and being the best you. A lot of men don't understand that.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, society is kind of like is that's another thing that I'll say about a lot of times a man's not committing, because what society can take from a man with the marriage laws and stuff like that. How you feel about marriage laws, family court, stuff like that? Is that another thing that I know that's, to me, I feel like that's the number one thing when you get up in age, you understand what the system can do to you as a man.
Well, brother, just like I've heard some of your story before, and we've talked, and you've heard some of mine before. But being a man that has been married, and there's so many dynamics that I can talk to young men about at this point, and not because I know it all, because a lot of times, and I think that's a problem in itself, that we talk to these young men and they feel that we're talking down to them. Mm-hmm. So they get on the defensive and don't want to listen. But I know some of these things that I'm speaking on my personal experience. I've been married before, legal state sanctioned marriage. I was married back in 1993. I was divorced in the year 2000. So I've been through the whole child support thing. I've been through the whole, stepfather dynamic. Mm-hmm. Because when me and my wife, my ex-wife, got together, my oldest daughter, which is my stepdaughter, I call her my daughter because for the longest time it was a unique situation in some ways, but in a lot of ways it was just the typical dynamic, everything. But I'm the only guy that she knew as the father. Her father had been in and out of prison for different things, and not saying that makes him less of a person or whatever, but it's just the way everything shook out. And I was the man that was there or whatever, and to this day, me and her have a very good relationship. Like I say, both my daughters are pretty successful, whatever. Both of them had their BSNs in nursing, and they're doing the thing. So I'm sort of, how can I say, my situation is a little bit rare. Yeah. Because in most cases, guys that have been in my situation, we know that stepfather role is a role that's not appreciated. Yeah. We know that it's hard to raise another man's child because you're never looked at as the father. You have to go through battles with the wife as far as disciplining and whatever. It's a difficult thing because as a man, if you paying for everything, if you had a house, if you're the one providing and protecting for everything, to go through that kind of battle, yeah, I went through it. Everything turned out in the end okay with me, but I would tell young men, don't do it.
Facts.
Because it only I'm one out of 100 that it will turn out that way for. Facts. The whole child support thing, man. Stack. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I've been homeless before. I've lived out of my car. I've stayed. I've been for over 2 years. I was down on the east side of Cleveland, man, in the Kinsman area. Hey, man, I slept in an abandoned house. I did all the while, and I'm a rare one that kept my job, do everything. I was driving tow motors, load trucks during the day, and I was bouncing at some of the local bars and nightclubs at night. And sometimes I would sleep once the bar closed and we cleaned up and everything. I'd end up sleeping in the bar or whatever. I went through some rough times, man, and this whole thing with this state-sanctioned marriage thing, for a man, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And I tell guys, man, now, and this is just not about not being worth it for the sake of the female, for what they're doing to it, the fact that they can do it, that they're enabled to do it.
You don't
by the system that's set up, you know.
And a lot of guys don't realize when a woman get that ring, what is their true intentions. That means she really has your balls in her hand. Like I said, a guy lived across the street from me. He was moving out this weekend, and he had 2 marriages. And he told me he lost both of the houses in the marriages. And the second house, it was a $250,000 home. And he had $175,000 paid up on that house before the divorce happened. The divorce happened 3 days later. She sold the house and got that $175K, and still getting child support from him. And he got the daughter all the time.
I can definitely relate to that, brother. I mean, at the end of everything, and it was a whole thing to where. And I'm just because I'm not embarrassed about any of it, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there because I feel that it will help men that are coming up or whatever. I'm just a man. I don't even know about these special things that happened to me, and my wife was unfaithful to me. Okay, my wife cheated on me. Okay, she came with the whole "you're not spending enough time with me" thing or whatever. But I was at the steel mill. I was working my butt off, man, so I was never at home.
You out there trying to provide, and you ain't spending enough time. And if you wasn't providing, you ain't providing. So
right, and I'd be with you know what I'm saying. So the whole thing with me is I left the house, and it wasn't that expensive at the time. We were basically just. I mean, it would have probably been one of several dwellings that we would have had over the years, but I had a little $150,000 crib, you know, 2-bedroom. She ended up getting awarded that, okay? But the whole thing was, and I had to pay child support, whatever, at the same time.
They can't keep them.
She was awarded the house, but I had to keep on making the payment.
Yeah, my older brother went through that.
Brother, I had to do that for 5 years. After the 5 years, she had to start paying, but guess what?
She lost it.
After that 5 years, she lost the house, brother.
That's how it always is.
She lost the house. So now my kids are out and she moving from place to place, threatening to take my kids out of the school district and moving further away, so I couldn't see him because she's dating this guy and that guy. It's a whole situation. Like I say, man, this state-sanctioned marriage in the Western world, not only our country, but places like Canada, Mexico, all of this whole Western hemisphere, with the laws that they have, it's a losing game, man. If you're a man and trying to get married.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm not trying to say that I'm not going to blame it all on the women, but the dynamic we have with our government and what they're empowered to do. Like I say, they've been trained to go for the jugular.
Yeah, but what we don't talk about is the women that actually value marriage a lot. A lot of times you hear the channels. And, you know, you got guys out there that want to get married, seen a blueprint like I seen a blueprint with my parents. And I will always tell guys, if you want to get married, when I do consultations, find that girl that value her mother and father, because that's going to hold her accountable to keep her legacy for marriage she's gonna want to do what her parents did. And to me, if you find a woman that's already grew up unbalanced, but that she want to get married, it's easy for her to jump ship on you. It's harder for you to run into a woman that had the values of a father and a mother in the home to not want to do that, because she valued, that's an embarrassment to her parents that she couldn't hold on to a marriage. You feel what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree with you 100% on that, man. For the fact that girl, if she's been raised in that kind of a dynamic and seeing the male and female interacting with one another, and it was a strong relationship, a strong traditional relationship, she's not gonna buck her husband. She's gonna end up falling into that submissive, supportive role because she's seen how a woman treats a man.
Exactly.
Because she's been trained by her mother, and at the same time, if her father was a real man, she's seen that if she plays her role, that the man is going to play his supportive, protective role of the rest of the family. So the whole dynamic falls into place. And if they have, especially if they have God as their foundation, because you have to, we tend to go ahead and brush that by the side. And a lot of guys say, "Oh, I'm not religious, I'm just a man." If you don't have some kind of spirituality and stand on something and have a foundation, the whole house is going to collapse.
Oh yeah. You gotta
have these women that have that kind of dynamic, they are out there, brother. But it just seems like
they're a needle in a haystack.
Stack. Look, man. Turn on the TV right now, brother. Turn on the radio and listen to the songs that are being put out. Turn on the TV. Look at the different shows, the sitcoms or the dramas or whatever they put out. The movies, in the magazines, every source of media we got. This dynamic is being pushed on us and shoved down these women's throats to where it's ruining them, man. It's ruining them because everybody, like I say, is caught up in that culture of instead of looking at it as a relationship, these women are looking at it like it's a competition. And once a woman starts looking at it as a competition, and you have to compete with that woman, it's lost, brother. It's not even worth even being involved, not only in marriage, but any kind of long-term relationship or short-term relationship, because you're spinning your wheels and you're actually playing with your freedom.
Exactly.
Because these women will ruin your life, man. You'll get caught up, you'll get set up, you get all kind of, or it's a waste of time.
Yeah, because
there's a lot of guys, like we always say, "Hey, man, what do we say? She's not yours. It's just your turn."
Yeah, it's just your turn.
Well, that's the kind of woman you end up getting, man. When we get these women now, and like I say, they being bombarded with it so much. It's not the, and we have to look at it like that, man. It's not the woman that's evil. It's just the woman being the woman. And like you said in one of your videos, it wasn't this past week. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago where you put it out and you were talking about looking at the woman's background. Look at how she was raised. Look at the dynamic that she's had. What kind of mother she got. What kind of aunties. Looking at the aunties and the female cousins and everything else that she's got. That's what you got to look at because, she could play the game and act like she's not like that. But we know that just like men are products of their environment, man, women are products of their environment. What they've been raised around, they're going to be like that.
And another thing, when you make these mistakes with a woman, it takes away your two valuable assets you have as a man, is your time and your money. And
no doubt,
you have to put in a lot of time to make the money to pay her and survive for yourself. Like you said, you've been through, sleeping in your car, being, homeless and stuff like that. A lot of times guys don't understand, that orgasm that you have can take a lot away from you, and you got to think about, what you put in your, what you plant that seed in, and at the end of the day, a man should only want to give his seed to a woman that's going to be, at least if you're gonna do it right. Be with a woman that's a marriage-minded woman that have a strong father, strong mother background. Then marry before you carry, and you may have a chance. I ain't gonna say you 100% because my ex-wife was her parents is married, my parents is married. It just didn't work out. Sometimes you have things like that, but
exactly.
and generally,
that's a risk enough as it is. So you definitely want to do your due diligence and do some research on them beforehand.
Yeah, and then generally at the end of the day, like my son right now, he can always say to when he get older, he know that his grandparents is married, his other grandparents on her side was married, and me and his mom was married. So he knows his route is to have a wife before he have a son. You feel me? So a lot of times people don't understand those blueprints and those stepping stones means a lot in the long run because it gives a man something to shoot for or a woman to shoot for when they seen the dynamic of history in the family that you guys you wasn't born out of wedlock. You feel me? And a lot of times it might not work, but at the same time, at least it was an honest try. You know, a lot of times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, brother. You're right on the money with that. A lot of times I think about my man D. Flemings. He's a moderator on Book of Alpharonomy's channel. And at the end of the stream, D. Flemings always said, "Protect your energy, brothers." Mm-hmm. You know, and that just resonates so deep with what you just said. Protect your energy. Be careful where you drop your seed at.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at a temporary feel good
that's gonna last you a lifetime.
Have permanent implications for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
And it's a risk, like you say, even with a wholesome woman, with a woman that has a good background, but it's that. So being that it's a risk with one that's good like that, you definitely want to protect your energy and not just. You want to look at yourself as the prize. You want to look at yourself as someone who can't treat himself like he's cheap and like you can just pass yourself out. Because brother, you get hooked up and you're done. You're done.
Now
you're committed because even after you break up with that woman, you still have this progeny of yours. You made this child. You have some kind of responsibility to take care of this child now. And it's going to be 18 years. It could turn out in some states. I know I'm here in Ohio. Even after they graduated from high school and past 18, if they end up going to college or whatever, you're still on the hook for child support. They could be 22, they could be up to 24 years old. And you got to keep on paying this child support thing, man. I mean, mine all ended up going to school and ended up getting out and doing the thing, so I didn't have to deal with that extended thing. It was once they were 18, it was off. I carried them on my health insurance all till they were 25 because the law stated that you can do that, and I wanted to go ahead and help the girls out and my son out while they were out there still trying to build their careers and whatnot. But the child support had ended at 18, but you can still be on the hook, man. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Stack.
Oh man,
that's a lot of money. They've done research, brother, and they said that it's you at least have to pay the minimum to raise a child. It costs a minimum of $250,000.
Exactly.
In the United States economy, man, that's per child. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I heard this from a woman, man, and I ain't never heard a man put this like this, but she said if you have a baby by a woman or herself, she was like, I don't want that 18-year sentence. She was a chick that didn't have no kids. She said, she used to say, I don't want that 18-year sentence. And women don't understand that they're gonna be most of the one that get they'll get the custody. But at the same time, you gotta, even though the father may get every other weekend, but you gotta support that child, and that child ain't going nowhere for 18, 19 years. In my state, it stopped at 19, the child support, no matter if they go to college or not. So certain states has changed that. They give that child a year, and then you pay child support for that year after high school, and then after that, they cut it off. I think it's in like 38 states now that you don't pay in college no more because they start to see the drop in society with marriages and how man is, lashing out on these women and how many men are locked up. So they say, you know what, we're going to stop it at 19 because I think society or America is starting to see that it's more of a lick for a woman. You know what I mean? That woman is getting that financial support. I remember I met these two guys that worked at my company about 10 years ago, and they was brothers. And they was literally saying that they got to give half their money to their mother because now that they're 18 and 19, she ain't getting that money no more. So they got to make up for the child support she was getting over the years. And that's a sad thing because think about that. She didn't collected for their child support, and now she done pretty much made them her slaves. Like, look, y'all go work and y'all gotta pay me this amount of money because that's what I'm used to.
She made them husband wives.
Son husbands. She made them son husbands. Literally. So, and that's another thing, like, you gotta be very careful when you date single moms because some of them single moms, their resources is coming from the father, and you thinking that they out there getting it and getting their money. We don't talk about the girls' trips, the car notes other men is paying because they got a child by a man, and that man's forking out over $300 every check, maybe $600-700 a month, and she using that to pay her go on her trips and pay her car note.
But you falling through there on the weekend, thinking that you fall through on the weekend, breaking this broad's back, and she living in this nice crib that her ex is still paying the mortgage on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
She already got it going on, but she just nothing but a beneficiary of a windfall.
For real. And
like she hit the lottery or something.
It's sad, but being my age right now, almost 40, I run to women at 35 want kids because they older kids or their older kids are their check is running out. So they so used to having a kid, they rather start over so they can know they can get some help for the next 20 years. Either they gonna
that's a trap, man.
I know.
They looking at you like they 401k, brother.
For real, because they either gonna figure like either we gonna do this, either I'm past the wall stage, I barely can have children, so either I'm gonna get him for the next 20 years to pay this and we to be together, or I'm gonna get him to pay this for the 18 years, and still I'm used to having company instead of getting a dog. She said I'd rather have another child, and I don't think a lot of guys looking at. Women are hitting a lick. I mean, women are getting pregnant at 35. I think I need to do a video on that to understand, let these guys, just because she old and she say, oh, I've been fixed, come in me. Don't do it, guys. You don't know what her actions are.
No. It's a whole dangerous thing, man. And if she catch you up and you end up laying with her, but she end up getting, because she, a lot of times you ain't the only cat that she's seeing.
Yeah.
Even if if she's desperate at that age in her mid-30s or whatever, trying to get what Coach Greg Adams, he call him, if she trying to hit that buzzer beater, she trying to drop that last egg, that last chance to have a baby. And if it ain't even yours and it's somebody else, in a lot of these states, brother, you on the hook. All she got to do is name you. It's on you to go get that paternity test. I mean, I know some cats right here in Ohio. I know a cat I went to high school, man, that ended up being with this broad, and he was with her for I'm gonna say 4 or 5 years, somewhere like that. And the baby ended up wasn't his. They went through a whole bunch of things back and forth with when they were breaking up. He never got married to her, by the way. But they went through a whole bunch of back and forth when they broke up. And she named him as the father, of course, so he got on child support or whatever. But even after they found out that he wasn't the father, he was stuck on child support. And the state of Ohio didn't let him off.
Yeah, they do that. If you sign an affidavit or just been there for so long, it's damn near like common law marriage. Like,
yeah, they said the baby, but regardless, you played the part of the father, so you're the father. And it wasn't his DNA, man. And they proved that she lied to him the whole 9 yards. But
yeah,
it's a heck of a thing. It's dangerous, Stack. It's dangerous, but you know the whole thing is, man, we tell these young men now, and because there's guys that are your age, my age, that still don't believe what we're saying right now. They'll tell us that we're bashing women, but we're just trying to make people aware of what's happening. But these young guys, they don't listen to it because they want to get hey, look, what was you thinking about at that age? You think about getting your nuts off.
And then,
so they not listening. They think that we just trying to tell them not to have fun. Or we trying to no, we trying to tell you to build yourself up, like you said, stack up your life. Stack attack your life. You gotta build yourself up first, brother, before you dive into this other thing. Because otherwise, you're hustling backwards. If you put yourself together, if you stack up your life like that, get your money right, get every other aspect of your life right, you still run the risk of being taken to the cleaners by one of these drags. But at the same time, if you got your life together and you look out for the right things, you can survive that.
Exactly.
But if you don't, and you just dive head first into it because you want to get a nut, you hustling backwards, brother.
And that juice ain't.
You in prison. It's almost like a prison sentence.
Yeah,
man.
you sitting yourself for just like guys go to jail for that fast money. If you go for that fast nut, you be in jail as well. You just be in the financial jail, going to work all the time to pay that child support and support yourself. And a lot of guys don't see it like that. They don't understand that that's a lifetime. 18 years is a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Period.
And you end up so old, man. Like right now, at this point, I always tell you because honestly, Stack, I'll tell you what, I'm 52 years old, okay? But I tell people, and especially these young black men, hey man, life ain't over for me, brother.
No.
I still every now and then I still knock me one off that's in their late 20s, okay, or early 30s, okay. I can still do that because I keep and I'm not rich by any means, okay, but I keep my ducks in a row, okay, and live my life and place myself in a position of power, and I'm the authority on my life and call shots on it. I don't let no one else do that. So you can still do it, but I can imagine if I didn't know what I know now, because listen, brother, I know a whole lot of cats that are my age right now, or in their mid-50s or close to 60, and they still play that game stupid like a young boy, and I see cats getting caught up every day, man. I see them getting caught up every day, and at this point in the game, brother, like I say, life ain't over, but you think that I'm ready to pay some child support again? You out your mind. You must be crazy. I ain't put myself in that position, but I see a whole lot of older cats doing the same thing, man. Nothing worse than the food in the old folk, man.
Man, for real, you gotta learn at some point. Like, I grind. That's why I tell people to stack attack your life. Like, you're not gonna get nowhere by laying there. You gotta go out. You gotta get up for what life's gonna knock you down. You gotta get up and do the work. You gotta before you do the work, you gotta be knowledgeable what you're gonna do and how you gonna run your plan. Because without a plan, you can't find a purpose. And then after you get your purpose, you gotta have that program. And that program is not having sex without condoms, not having dealing with women that are strags. That is part of your program. Is you have to have a defense mechanism of who you deal with, who you give your energy to. Just like you said about D. Flim saying, you got to understand that when I say program, your program is how you put that force field around your life, how you protect who you are as a man. A lot of men don't understand what a program is. A program is saying, saying no to things when you actually used to say yes to that shit. Just because you off tonight or they ain't gotta do nothing don't mean you go drink, and you gotta pick where you have your fun. Life is not like a box of chocolates. You just gonna, you know what I mean? A lot of times guys feel like they gotta, have fun all the time. Turn up, turn down, and do the things you gotta do now to do the things you want to do later.
Exactly, man. That comes with that self-control and that self-discipline, man. Because you gotta strategize.
Yeah.
You gotta look at it like this is a war. You don't have to look at it like it's a war in a negative sort of connotation, but you gotta look at it as it's a war and you're fighting for your own salvation to make your situation better. So it's about being proactive, man. You can't just, people say that they take that expression. People say, the old people used to tell me, hey, sometimes you gotta let go and let God. Okay, yeah, but you know what? God don't bless you if you ain't gave him nothing to bless.
Mm-hmm. And just like
you gotta put in that work, man. You gotta put in that work and give him something to work with. So you can't just let it go willy-nilly. You gotta go ahead and put that work in and develop yourself. And like you say, sometimes turn down, back up, step outside of yourself, look at yourself objectively, man, and say, hey,
man,
you're not as well prepared as you think you are. It's time to start attacking these several areas in your life where you're weak and build those up, and then get back into the game. We got to do that every once in a while, man. We got to step back and we got to analyze ourselves. We got to be objective when we analyze ourselves, because especially as men, we let that ego get in the way. And I'm cool. No, you're not cool. You got to always look at yourself like you're not cool. There's always something. There's always some area of the game you can polish up.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to do that. We got to do it from time to time.
You got to do it daily.
There's what you call that, you did that one video about self-care. We got to do some self-care,
It's you versus you. You got to realize it's going to be women out there that are sheep, but they in wolf. What they call sheeps and wolf clothing, whatever.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm saying, to know sometimes. Sometimes, like on the weekend, I get texts to, oh, can I come over? Can I do this? Sometimes I'm not feeling that energy, so I don't want nobody in my presence. You gotta, as a man, I don't say man, I hate to say it. We, at this point in age, I don't say hate to say it, but we got to start valuing ourselves like a woman. Because some women that do value themselves, they know they can get dick whenever they want to, but they don't choose to. So you have to put yourself in a mindset as like a select woman. You can choose to get some, but you don't want to get some all the damn time. You don't have to. And when you have plenty of options and put yourself out there, sometimes you're just not ready to deal with nobody, and it's okay.
Exactly.
And you got to understand, because once like you said, you want to be a proactive person. You don't want to be a reactive person, and that's what I see a lot of times on YouTube. Is a lot of these guys are reacting after the fact, and a lot of times people come to YouTube because they've been through some shit. And that's good. It's everything happens for a reason. But once you come here and you find platforms like mine, Coach Warren, Greg Adams, GMB, people like that, you got to understand you're not going to agree with everything I say or those guys say. But you still have to find your own rhythm to add to your arsenal of your playbook of understanding, awareness, how to protect your program. That's what, to me, that's what YouTube about. I don't agree with every content creator, but I respect their platform and I respect what I can learn. Because my granddaddy told me when I was 13, my granddaddy had a flea market and I used to work his booth, and he told me, I don't care if a kid come here at 5 years old or a man that's 85 years old. Listen to what they asking about the product. Understand what they saying, because you can learn from a 5-year-old or 85-year-old. Just because you're older than somebody or you look more healthy than somebody, don't mean you're better than anybody. Always listen.
That's right. That's right. You hit that right on the head, brother. My grandpa used to tell me something similar. He said you listen to the fools to even know what not to do. You listen to wise people to know what to do. You listen to fools to know what not to do.
Exactly.
You know, and that's an important thing. And you really hit a gem right there when you said about men react. That's so important because in the English language, we got a lot of words that sound alike but mean totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
And what you said about not reacting is so vitally important, because that's the difference in being a man or a woman, or that's the difference in being a alpha male or a beta male, a mature male or immature male. Okay, that's the difference between being a man and a boy. You have to never, ever react. As men, you're not supposed to react.
No.
You're supposed to respond.
Mm-hmm. Just
the words sound similar, but when you respond instead of react, you're giving thought to what you're gonna do. When you just react, that's an emotional thing.
That's a woman thing.
Exactly.
And
if you react, that means someone else is in control of you.
Just like I did that.
But if something happens, you respond. You think about what you're gonna do, then you put that plan into attack. Then you're responding, not reacting, man. And that's a gem right there,
and that's why I use the stack attack your life, because you have to stack attack your emotions. A lot of people don't understand when I say stack attack your life. I'm not just saying that because, you know, my last name is Stacker, but everybody call me Stack. I'm not just saying that because it goes along with my channel. I'm saying that you have to stack attack your thoughts. You have to stack attack what you stand for as a man or a woman. Whoever watches my channel, you have to stack attack things which you learn from me, which you learn from Rich on the phone, what you learn from other content creators, what you learn on your daily life. How do you know what to take in and know what not to take in? That's what stack attack your life mean, is you stacking up gems, you stacking up knowledge to make yourself more valuable for yourself and build a legacy for your kids and everybody else and help somebody and save somebody's life. The reason why I continue to do this, I don't get as many views as some of these other guys that we talk about, but I don't really care because I know deep down inside, if something happened to me, this channel will still stand. My kids still can learn from what I said on my almost 200 videos, that I left some knowledge on this world to help somebody. You feel me?
Exactly.
So a lot of times,
you're definitely leaving a legacy, man. That's why I appreciate you so much. And you know, you can look at the views and whatever like that, and a lot of guys got a whole lot of views, or a whole lot of subscribers or whatever. But you got to look at it like this, man. You're a hidden gem. You're really that precious stone that people are seeking. You know, a lot of things out here in life, you know, everyone can go with pain. Everyone can go grab a bit of this and grab a bit of that, man. But I look at your channel and that's why I'm always rocking with you, man, because you put out a video, and some of the videos I say, okay, you know, cool, the brother is doing his thing. I still support it, but every now and then, man, and it's more often than not, you'll come across with a video during the week, and I'll be like, that's what I needed to hear.
Facts.
That's exactly what I needed to hear, and that's what I needed, because I think sometimes in my mind, I think at 52 years old, sometimes I think, maybe I'm tripping.
Nah.
Maybe I'm not thinking right about this or thinking right about that. And you'll come across with a video that was exactly what I needed to hear to strengthen me a little bit, to help me to stand up and say, okay, well, I'm not crazy. There's someone else who's thinking the way I'm thinking. So, brother, like I say, I really hope that you go ahead and keep on doing what you're doing, because it's valuable to somebody, and somebody's going to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to help. Even if you can only help one person in life, brother, you know that you're doing something that God wanted you to do.
Exactly, because sometimes with some of my videos, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be asleep and then I'll wake up and a video idea hit me. I get up, get on my write down my notebook of what the video need to be about. And lately it's just been hitting me with five things to tell a person. 5 this, 5 that. Because before I was just doing regular random videos. Now it's like break down the 5 steps to be successful, or whatever the steps are. And a lot of times I get these video ideas in my sleep, or I'll be at work, or I hear something, somebody say something, and I'm like, you know what? That, you know, and when you have an open mind of wisdom, when people say things, the good things trigger to help somebody. You know, I always say, when you hear something bad, you can always find some good out of it. So when you hear some bad news, you can say, how can I make this negative and turn it to a positive? Especially since I'm a content creator and I hear what people go through on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I feel like God be talking to me to try to say, you know, do this, do that. And I don't really care. Like, I don't care if it don't, you know, I get consultations and I help I help more women than men. Women that reach out to me more than the man. The man will reach out to me here once in a while, but they be want to know some of the dumbest things in the world, like how to get a woman. I'm like, dude, my channel ain't for that. It's how to be on your purpose.
They blinded by that peace league, man. They want to slide off through some warm.
Man, it ain't that damn deep. But at the end of the day, I feel like my channel keep me going. It get draining, like China. I understand when trying to take up breaks. Even me, sometimes I'll do my videos and then I'll hold them for a couple of days and I'll let them go. And then, you know, it's just sometimes you do want to take a break from it, but at the same time, when God keeps speaking to you to say this and say that, it's better to just get it out there, because like the knowledge, you know, right now. And it's cool that you come on this platform to hear it, because they might not learn from me tonight. They might have learned from you tonight. And that's why I give my subscribers the platform to call in on Sundays and call in and say what they have to say. And then I'm streaming from another stream just to get other people to understand that it's people out here that's trying to make a difference. It's people out here that want to see Black relationships and Black commitment stay strong. But a lot of times, you get people that see, oh, well, he only got 40 views on this video. Why should I listen to him? Now, if I have 40,000, there go 40,000 more. But that's how it be. You know, you talk about something, you know, my highest video is got something with sex in it. It's Man Don't Go Back Sexually. I almost got 4,000 views. But I had to go to the point of, you know, talking about something that really, it matters, but it really don't matter, you know. But when I talk about self-improvement and trying to, you know, get your ducks in a row and live your life a certain way, you get the less views, you know. But I'm not going to sell out for nobody. I'm not going to sell out for the devil. No, none of that. I'm not going to sell out for the money, none of that. I'm already established. I got things in my life. I'm just doing God work because he blessed me, and I'm looking to bless somebody else.
Well, brother, like I say, I believe you're doing a hell of a job, because, like I say, a lot of times the video, I look at something and I say, okay, Stack on his stuff today, but that really didn't pertain to me. But it'd be something in the video that I'd be like, okay, so at the very least, even if the video ain't applying to what someone else has going on specifically in their life, or they may think it don't apply, you're still stimulating thought.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing you want to do, is stimulate people to think, bring the subject to life and stimulate them to think. And I like the presentation that you give, man, because it always gives men an option of thinking you don't shame men. You don't say, well, hey, you this or you that, or you ain't a man, and you can say. You always try to help a man, and you always got that. You and Coach Warren got a sort of a vibe to whereas, hey, brother, grab my hand. I'm not better than you. Let me help you get up.
Exactly.
I know you're not down. I know you ain't feeling good right now. Let me help you up right quick. Now, this is what I've been through. And you come like a human being, man, and talk to people on that level, man. So I appreciate that about you, man.
It's just like
I say, keep on doing what you're doing, brother, despite what the YouTube analytics say or whatever else, man. And I know it gets tiring to you sometimes, man, because sometimes it's got to feel like you're talking to a brick wall.
Yeah. Hey, man, it is what it is. If y'all joining from the other stream is we're on YouTube. Stack 44 is my channel. We do live discussions every Sunday, Stack Attack Sundays. Women and men call in for this platform, and we just talk about what the topic is today is why men won't commit to women. But if you want to, get some knowledge and some wisdom, you're allowed to call in. Just go to Stack 44 on YouTube. But yeah, man. Yeah, Rich. I'll just be trying to get people to understand what's out there. Just like I just did the video with 5 places where where married couples act like everything's perfect. I know some people might not be married, but that is true that now people that aren't married, they go to church or go to the places I say, and now they realize that people play that game. You know what I mean? If they didn't even think of it.
Right.
So like
you think about it.
Because it's like right now the holiday season. It's families coming over for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and it's husbands and wives, and they probably beefing like a mud, but they play the role no different than what Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. I don't even think they together no more. They were just playing the role.
Brother, it don't seem like it, do it? It don't seem like it. Ever since people have all they both doing things that it seems like they promoting their own platforms separately. You'll never see the united front like you used to.
So it's always awareness somewhere. So if you're on the other platform, go to Stack 44 if you want to join the conversation and call in. But I always try to get something outside of the box for people to understand that this is how life is. Life is going to take things from us the older we get. And we need to be more aware that, we live in a society today when we're told that we have plenty of options, but the best option you can have is knowing yourself and having a validation for yourself and knowing your lane, because the grass ain't greener on the other side. You got to water your own grass. And a lot of times people feel like, well, he ain't working out for me, or she ain't working out on my program. And they jump ship very quick before trying to build something. The thing about building is one day you might have a good day building a project. The next day you might have a day of stagnant. That's just the way life is. When you build your life, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Everything ain't going to be up and up. And with this touch society, when you can touch a tablet, touch a phone, and get the information just like that, nobody wants to work hard for anything no more.
Right.
And that's why I always tell people to attack your life and stack up your life, because sometimes you're going to stack things up and it's going to come down. How many times you didn't got something, you pay off a bill, and the next thing you know, something else go wrong. Then you got to take that same money that you thought you was about to save and go pay for the next bill. You know what I mean? That's just life.
Oh, man, all the time. That's why you got to stay prepared, man. You got to stay ready, man, because and it's a like you said, it's a proactive thing. You can't just let it, happen by chance. You gotta strategize and plan for these things, man. Life is life, man.
Man, I mean, just like today, I went to the hardware store, and I've been living in Indiana. It's about to get real cold, so I bought the de-icers for my work bag for at work. So I got de-icers for my car and my truck. So I got maybe 5 of them, just because at some point this year, your license is gonna freeze. What you gonna do? You still got to go to work.
No doubt.
So you gotta be proactive. You know, there's so many people that's not proactive. Like I listen to, I don't know if you rock with Kevin Samuels, but
I listen to the brother's thing.
Sometimes I listen to his show and you can tell the single women when they call in the background, you hear a smoke detector going off. That's not for real, because that's like, as a man, soon as my smoke detector go off in my house, it only take me to go, even then, I go to the Dollar Tree and buy the batteries for them. And they'll last maybe 8 months to a year. What's $8 to buy like 8 batteries to do your smoke detectors when they do go down? Like, then, like, the older you get, the more proactive you need to think. Like, period. Like,
yeah, you always know when they ain't got a man in their life, man, because if you stubborn, they just let it go.
They be like the smoke.
I got a couple of girls that I'm messing with now, man, and I you know, they fall through, and we about to go get something to eat or something, or go get something to sip on or something. Girl, didn't you take? I told you to take this thing to the dealer or whatever. You'll do. The engine light's still on.
The engine light on.
And they just ride around and they your gas cap because I done already tightened up your gas cap and it's all right. You need to take this plug in it, but they don't want to take the car to the dealer until the thing breaks down and won't run no more. They don't want what I'm saying?
They don't want to put no they don't want to put no oil in it. I mean, one chick told me 2 weeks ago she thought something was wrong with her car and the motor locked on it, but all she had to do was put some oil in, get an oil change.
Right.
So, and I ain't bashing women because it's men out there that don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to hook up a DVD player. I done seen it and heard it. So,
brother, I had a cat that I just helped out that live right in my apartment building right now that I walked out last week and showed him how to put his battery in. He didn't know how to. Hey, look, brother, it's a positive cable and it's a negative cable. This young man, he was 21, 22, but apparently he never had a father or something. I don't know what the deal was, but we got his battery in and he got on his way, whatever, and he trying to have me, thanks, OG. He trying to have me $50, man. I don't want that, brother. I don't want that. Just pay attention to your stuff, man. Keep up on your stuff. You can't be out here and not know what's up with nothing. I tell you, young, and I told him, I said, man, because I had to keep coming back in the apartment to get some tools and I told him, I said, man, go invest in you some tools, man. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to get everything, but go get you a couple of wrenches, man. Go get you a socket set, man. Every man should have some tools, But
yeah. I definitely got.
Young cats nowadays, they don't think about that, man.
And women don't, and that's another way to vet a man out. A woman, I hate to say, a woman should pretend like they need some help to see what he actually can do.
That's true. That's true.
And another thing, ladies, if a man come over your house and he's relaxing, chilling, he don't offer or look at your trash to take it out or offer to take it out for you, that show you that he ain't got no good intentions for you, too. Because I remember over women's houses and I'll be like, I'll look around, talk to her. She might go in the kitchen. I might go in there and talk to her. I'll make sure that her garbage is out so she don't have to take that trip. And in the manosphere, somebody be like, that's a simp move. But it's really just polite courtesy.
No, it's not a simp move, man. It's like this. The word being a provider, man, has different connotations. It's not just all about providing money.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be a man, look, if we want them to do what they need to do as women, we first have to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you walk by here every week and you constantly doing everything for her and she's not reciprocating, I'll say, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep on doing this and that. But you have to put yourself out there like, here, girl, I'm a man. This is what I provide.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I bring to the table. No, I didn't take you to go buy no new purse. I didn't take you to do this, but when I fell through, I took the garbage out. When I fell through, I seen one of your cabinets was hanging, whatever, and I grabbed my little wrench and my screwdriver and I tightened it up. You know, just little stuff like that, man. You gotta be a man, and if a woman don't have a man like that, and you think, what you gonna do? You can't blame these women. What's she gonna get a man for? And you can't even turn a screw. You can't even put some IKEA furniture together. You can't put a TV stand together.
Exactly. I remember I did use one of those analogies, just like you said about a guy didn't know it was a positive and negative cable on a battery for the car. I said that about people's life. You're gonna have positives in your life and you're gonna have negatives, just like a battery. It's if you have more negative energy, you're gonna be a negative person. If you have more positive energy, that don't stop the negative from coming to you, but you can overcome stuff when you working your positive. You know, a lot of times people don't think about that. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go and get off this. I thought Mike was gonna call in tonight, but you know, it looked like he didn't. But it's all good. You know, it be some nights when, you know, you hear the ladies come in and then the ladies, you know, they don't come back, but it's all good. They eventually come back. But I appreciate you for rocking with me, man. I'm gonna keep my content coming. I'm going on vacation next week, so I might start dropping live streams for like a week straight. I might do it every day for a couple of days, at least 5 days in a row. I might do a live stream every night to see if I can get a decent audience instead of working on Sunday, because I know Sunday people be, you know, winding down and chilling and relaxing. Right. But I'm gonna start coming on a little early during the week. I'm doing my vacation about 5-6 o'clock in the evening and see what I can get going on. So
right, man, I'll be looking out for you, brother.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt. But yeah, I'm about to have it. This is my last week, and then I got 16 days off, so I'm about to enjoy this vacation. I you know, doing the YouTube thing is a part-time thing, but you know, for me it'll be easier to jump on YouTube when I ain't got nothing to do, really, because I ain't going nowhere. I want to go somewhere, but this COVID-19, man, I do not want to bring
everything locked down, brother. And it's probably in your best interest to go ahead and lay low, brother. That's all.
Yeah, because you know, you don't want to bring nothing. The issue is with around this time is you go out, you do something, and you bring it back to your family members that are older, and then you kill them. That's the bad part about that. People don't look at. People don't look at that. You know, you may be younger or whatever, and you go out and kick it, but then when you get around your aunts or your grandma and all them, and then all of a sudden you don't know you got it, and you give it to them. That's the silent killer that's killing everybody.
No doubt about it, brother. No doubt about it.
But yeah, man, you got anything to close with? Anything you feel about commitments and anything you want to say to the people?
Hey, nah, man. I just want people to know out there, if you're listening out there, man, hey, don't be shy about calling in, talking to this brother, man. Stacks putting out, you know, thorough stuff on the weekend here to call in about. He's putting out thorough videos during the week. Call on in, brother, because it don't mean that you're weak because you're seeking some kind of help. We all need a hand up sometime. And hey, like Stat said, sometimes you may have something to contribute that can help one of us, man. So it's all about helping each other out, man. And I, like I said, God bless you, man. Keep on doing your thing, Stat. I appreciate you letting me come on here and talk my stuff, man. And like I said, thanks for helping me out and everything that you've already done, brother. So, you know, God bless you, man. And I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Thank you, man. God bless you, man. I appreciate you.
All right, my brother. Peace.
Holla at you. All right, guys. And all that was a good call. You know, Big Rich dropping gems, dropping his knowledge, you know, giving us make the mistakes he and I made is to help you guys that haven't made those mistakes yet. And, you know, if you want to call in on Sundays, you're allowed to call in. That's why the number is there. It's there for everybody to call in and give you a perspective of what the topic is. We try to stay on topic over here. But at the end of the day, guys, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So always continue to stack your life, stack up your life. Realize that you don't know everything, but you want to get the build the knowledge to know enough to keep yourself and protect yourself, woman or man, whoever you are. I know I got a lot of guys that come to my channel because it's more of a guy channel, but we do give the awareness for the women that wants to take a part of the conversation and understand how a man think. Because if you understand how a man think as a woman, you will always keep a good man, and you will always find the man that's on bullshit too. So that's pretty much all I want to say on this video. Like I said before, in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna try to drop a couple live streams in a row, guys. So you guys that don't catch it on the Sundays, you guys get to just call in during the week because I'm gonna be on vacation in a couple. Well, next week, after next week, I'll be on vacation, so I'm definitely gonna be dropping live streams and see what you guys, how you guys feel about that. And if it open up, I might do even more. So I might do two shows on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But at the end of the day, guys, if you're a man, be aware of making your commitments. Make full commitments. If you're gonna make a full commitment with a woman, make sure she has a good foundation behind her that she came from. If she has an unstable foundation, it doesn't mean she's not good for you, but you got to be very cautious of the way she moves and the way she, how she rocking her life. But she has a great foundation. It makes a better chance that things could happen later down in life. And that's all I really want to say on this video, guys. So Stack Attack Your Life, stack up your life. Next Sunday, Stack Attack Sundays, call in, and I'll holler at you guys on the next Stack Attack Sunday. And check out my videos during the week. And if you're on the other stream, go to Stack 44 on YouTube. You can find me there. And I'll holler at you guys. And thanks for tuning in. Peace.